Josh, hey, congratulations on your new film, Armor.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, you know what? I love these type of action films, and you joined a terrific film with an ensemble cast. But tell us what initially drew you that you wanted to be part of Armor.
Well, what I really loved about it was the fact that it was an action movie, which was cool for me. I'd never done an action movie before, but it was an action movie that really had a lot of heart to it, and at its core, really is a story about a father and son having to repair their relationship in this really awful circumstance. So that was one of the biggest things that drew me to it for sure.
Tell us about the development of chemistry with Jason Patric in this film.
Yeah, it's funny. We really didn't have a lot of prep time before. There was I don't remember if it was the night before we shot or not, but it was pretty late on. We had one night of really going over the script, and then we just kind of jumped into it. But it kind of worked out because the relationship's supposed to be a bit fractured in the beginning, and it's supposed to kind of find itself as the story goes. And that was kind of the same thing with us as actors and working together. So it was a happy coincidence.
I was going to say, what was it like working with Jason in this case? Because I want to say you practically spent the entire movie together.
Yeah, we definitely did. It was great. I mean, it's obvious that he's been doing this for a long time. He was really good at finding what the scenes needed and what the story needed, and just offering up changes and suggestions. And I mean, yeah, it's really just us together in a room essentially for most of the movie. So it was important that we could bounce off each other. And like I said, we found it as we went, and it was a great time.
Now, the armored truck itself, it's own character. How much was it in the armored truck, and how much was the rest of it in a makeshift room on a studio lot or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. Everything after it tips over for inside the truck was on a set. But all the stuff other than that it was the real truck, and we were, when we're driving it, we could really it was in there, and you could tell that it's the real deal by how much we're sweating because there's no AC in there, and it's the summer in the South, so it was brutal. But yeah, yeah, it was cool just being able to kind of be in this. It's almost like it's the truck is this catalyst for our relationship, and it's forcing us to 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 repair it. So yeah, it's cool.
It's actually funny because when I was watching it, I wouldn't realize that it was actually hot. I thought that was just a portrayal
Oh, it was
for
hot. It was hot. Yeah. No, there was no AC in there. So it was just, we're driving, we're in the suits, the security suits, which are not made to be breathable, they're not made for their comfort. So yeah, we're just sweating our asses off, and it brought the real feeling.
Well, what was it like, acting in such a contained type of setting? Because not only you are in a contained setting with inside, driving the armored truck, you were also in the contained setting inside that little back area of the armored truck. In this case, you don't have a lot of, I want to say, a lot of movement. For
Yeah, no, I mean that's what it's all about, really. I mean it was just acting at its core. It was just us sitting there, nothing really to bounce off for most of our scenes together, and we're just kind of it's just us as actors trying to find the scene together, and you know that's that's kind of that's kind of what it's all about, really.
Now, you mentioned that this is your first action film. Did you have to do any preparation, such as weapons training itself, or did you have to, how you prepare for like sort of like getting wounded or fight sequences, that kind of stuff?
Not really. I mean, there was really only one scene where I'm shooting the gun, and I grew up shooting guns, so that wasn't a challenge. Uh, and yeah, I mean, most of the movie is just it's kind of just I don't have to do a lot, in terms of physicality, which is nice. I'm just kind of sitting there. Jason was really the one breaking a sweat, so yeah, I was able to just luckily kind of focus on the character and just kind of trying to be the emotional, anchor of the story.
That is so true. Did you even have a chance to drive that armored truck? It
No,
looks like Jason drove the armored truck.
I know it's a shame. It's a shame. I'll do it one day.
Well, it looks pretty difficult. Uh, now you mentioned that this was filmed in the South. Could you tell us more about the bridge where this was actually filmed at, and how it
Yeah, it's.
and how it was
I'm sorry. What was the last part?
and how
Oh
it was
yeah, yeah,
out here.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, everything on the bridge was practical, it's on location. Um, it really, it's a concrete bridge in the middle of summer, so it was not hard to act, you know, to bring what was needed to the scenes. And yeah, I really kind of like the truck. It really is kind of its own character in a way. So it was a cool place to shoot.
Now, of course, anybody who watches this film have to admire that Sylvester Stallone is in this film. I just want to know is how much did you have to really interact with Sylvester Stallone? Because I know that you're inside the truck and he's outside. In reality, it almost seems like you two might not even be on the same set this entire time.
Yeah, no, I mean that really was the case. We really only had one scene together, and it's a scene that I can't, explain. It's a spoiler, but yeah, and I think it was kind of cool doing it that way because it really there's a lot of energy when you're formally just kind of separated and then now you're face to face. Kind of like how the story goes. Again, I can't spoil much, but yeah, I think it brought a cool dynamic to that particular scene.
What was it challenging to basically act against, I want to say, a voice, because really you guys are shouting through a door.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think, as an actor, you do that more than I think people would think. But I think it would have been much harder if it was just one of us in there. I think having me in there, me having him in there, kind of helps to anchor the scenes, and it kind of lends itself to the reality of the situation. We don't know Sylvester Stallone out there. We don't know who's out there, so it kind of lends itself to this, to the performances.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you did have a moment to actually meet with him, what was he like?
Oh, he's super nice. And just watching him work of kind of having complete control over what's going on and just kind of knowing the he could he could do it in his sleep. It was really interesting to watch. But yeah, he was super nice guy. And one scene I did with him was a super fun scene. So I'm sure all the others would have been great too.
I know exactly which scene you're actually talking about, but of course, it's for the sake of spoilers, we can't talk
Right.
about it, right?
Yeah. It's a shame.
So let me wrap it up with you, Josh. What is up next for you? Do you want to stick around in this action arena, or you want to go back to like all the dramas and the family stuff that you've done before?
I'll do whatever the industry wants me to do, whether it's action, drama, comedy, whatever. I'm here for it all. So hopefully something's around the corner.
Well said. You know what, Josh? This film Armor is a very fun film. It's one of those films that we put it on a Friday and Saturday night because that's what we actually want to watch. So hey, congratulations on your first action film. It's a lot of fun. I hope you become an action star someday. You're going down that route. So thank
Thank
you.
you, man. Fingers crossed.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye now.
Thanks.